welcome back to the most amazing channel on the internet. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and today we're talking about the top 10 scariest live TV interruptions. In 2018, it is a lot harder to interrupt a broadcast, but historically there have been some very spooky interruptions. Stay tuned to find out what happened when people were just idly watching their TV sets. Also, please do leave a thumbs up on this video and stick around to the end, as I will be reading out some comments from one of my latest videos. Coming in at number 10, we have Handy Manny interrupted by porn. Early on a weekday morning in May 2007, kids in New Jersey, USA were eating their breakfast and watching a Disney Channel show, Handy Manny. Unfortunately, instead of seeing their favorite tool-wielding handyman, they saw, a tool-wielding handyman, but not a very kid-friendly one. Where is he putting that tool? That's the question. That's right, the broadcast was interrupted by hardcore pornography, which must have been pretty terrifying for the kids, but more so for the parents who found their kids watching it. Comcast, the cable network that Handy Manny was airing on, apologized but never commented on how the interference came to be or who was behind it.
The video is so graphic we can't show it, and it goes on for almost 6 straight minutes.
Coming into number 9, we have a scary old couple conspiracy. In July 2007, ABC affiliate WJLA had their signal interrupted and something weird flashed up on the screen. It was a spooky picture and a grainy image of two elderly people. There was no sound involved, just the image. Creepy, but not that bad, right? Sure. However, the plot thickens. The cable company brushed over it, saying it was a programming mix-up from an earlier Oprah show. Okay, fine, so then why were all the video clips of the hijacking removed from YouTube immediately after? A lot of people think that the network was covering up for something way more sinister. Coming into number 8, we have Captain Midnight's protest. In 1986, a disgruntled electrical engineer named John McDougal was seriously peed at HBO for their high subscription prices. At the time it was around $12.95 a month, which is about $30 today. McDougal called himself Captain Midnight and threatened to hijack stations periodically, targeting Showtime next. Coming into number 7, we have the Wyoming Incident. In 2008, it is said that a local news network in Wyoming was broadcasting some coverage of the general election. However, the broadcast was interrupted by black and grey stripes with text reading, "You will see such pretty things." This was followed by clips of disembodied human heads. Apparently, the pirate broadcast was shown at such a high frequency that it made some viewers vomit. Now, you can read a lot about the Wyoming incident on a creepypasta site or urban legend sites. However, I've been unable to find an official news source. This leads me to believe that it is just that, an urban legend. Coming into number 6, we have aliens on Southern television. On November the 26th, 1977, a scary alien voice interrupted a British TV broadcast at 5:10 in the afternoon on ITV. Hijacking the Hannington transmitter, a scary speaker interrupted transmissions for 6 whole minutes. Now, they claimed to be an alien called Virillan from the Intergalactic Association. With a distorted voice, Virillan said that all weapons of mass evil must be removed. He warned that humanity has a short time to learn to live together in peace. The voice implored humanity to remain peaceful so that we could be part of the Great Awakening of the Age of Aquarius. The hijack was vocal only, and later ITV called the hijacker breakthrough in sound. The identity of the hijacker has never been found. Perhaps it was aliens warning us. Coming into number 5, we have an atomic bomb. On a Sunday morning Czech TV show, Panorama, viewers were convinced that the Prague countryside was being bombed. The show is intended to attract tourists and generally shows live footage of idyllic landscapes. On the 17th of June 2007, the signal was cleverly hijacked. What looked like scenes from the usual show broadcast an atomic bomb being detonated over the land. This sent viewers into an absolute panic. Now, government officials were even concerned that Prague was being bombed. It turned out it was an elaborate hoax, but it took a few minutes to realize that. The hoax was actually a performance piece from a group called Zetoven. Coming Coming into number 4, we have news of the zombie apocalypse. In 2013, TV viewers in Montana were stunned when Steve Wilkos' show on KRTV was interrupted by hackers. Pranksters interrupted the show to warn of a zombie apocalypse, saying that bodies of the dead were rising from their graves. They stated that updates would be posted as soon as new information became available. The mayhem happened amid an episode of Wilkos' show about teen cheaters taking a lie detector test. Now, the hack was a voiceover only and warned viewers not to approach the zombies as they are extremely dangerous. Immediately after the hack was taken down, KPTV released a statement. They said the situation was under control and yes, it was just a hack.
Have reported that the bodies of the dead are rising from their graves and attacking the living. Follow the messages on screen that will be updated as information becomes available.
Coming into number 3, we have the first of Max Hadrom's appearances. On November the 22nd, 1987, the Chicago 9 o'clock news was interrupted on WGN-TV. Instead of host Dan Ronan discussing the Bears' victory over the Detroit Lions, the audience got a man in a mock news reporter suit wearing a creepy Max Headroom mask with sunglasses and a frozen grin. All audiences could hear was static. All they could see was the maniac moving around as if he was being spanked. Now, it appears the TV signal was hijacked for 30 seconds. When the signal finally made it back to the studio, Ronan nervously laughed. Well, if you're wondering what happened, so am I. On this day, the creepy intruder became an icon. Now, we're building on this at number 2. That's right, coming in at number 2, we have the first time that Max Hadroom speaks. Later, the same hijacker interrupted an episode of Doctor Who for around 90 seconds. In the secondary hijack, the plot thickened even further. This man got even creepier. The first hijack had no audio, but the second was a rant. The creepy hijacker spouted about Coca-Cola, Chuck Swirsky, and a dirty glove. After some weird lunging at the camera and head swishing and singing, the hijacker's bare bottom is spanked by an off-camera French maid. Making the whole saga even weirder, over 30 years later, we still have no idea who is responsible for the hijacking. Finally, most terrifying of all, because the threats were actually founded in reality, we have a very real declaration of war. In July 2006, Lebanese fighters fired shots over the Israeli border. This led to a 34-day war in which Israel retaliated hard. Israeli hackers took control of the Islamic Lebanese political party Hezbollah's TV station. They sent out a very chilling message of war. The hijacked signals started showing images of dead Hezbollah guerrilla soldiers. An image of the political party leader Hassan Nasrallah was then shown, along with the sound of gunshots and a voice saying, "Your day is coming." So guys, that was the top 10 scariest live TV interruptions. Which of these do you think is the scariest? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, before I head out, I'm just going to read a few comments you guys left me on one of my most recent videos. That is the scary Tinder dates video. Now, this was a lot of fun to film, but actually pretty scary content. Sports Review Zane said, "I met my girl on the playground. We actually met in a sandbox." Zane, how old are you? This is okay. Cool. Jedi Dan said, "Note, don't talk about Uranus when dating Rebecca. No problem. We can always talk about Neptune. Lol." Seriously though, I think if you guys have seen the video, I got very angry at a tiny anus. And I was basically saying that people shouldn't discuss their anuses with me. But you can discuss Uranus because I love space. Uranus and Neptune would be great topics of conversation. I'd really enjoy that. So I said in the video that I was struggling to find instances of females acting violently to men on Tinder, and Kelly had something pretty insightful to say. She said, "While the numbers may not be even, the domestic violence dating numbers are not nearly as skewed towards men being the aggressors as is so often suggested. Unfortunately, this type of violence against men so often goes unreported, and that is the reason the numbers are skewed in the direction they are." I think that's a really, really great point, and I think we absolutely need to end the stigma of men speaking out against domestic violence, because I know that it does happen. Finally, Sharp and Scissors said, "I love your outfit, Rebecca." Thanks, Sharp and Scissors. I appreciate it. So guys, thank you for tuning in to the most amazing channel on the internet. If you've got any comments on these crazy, scary live TV interruptions, then please do leave them in the comment section down below. For now, I'm your host, Rebecca Felgate. If you want to connect with me on social media, my links are in the description box down below. For now, make sure you leave a good thumbs up, share this video with a friend, and stay subscribed for more most amazing lists.